Hi everybody, welcome back. This is video part 3. I'm doing these in 10-minute videos because I have spent a couple of nights recording these things only to get errors in my cam studio, so I'm doing them in 10-minute blocks. So welcome again. We are going through a very simple example of how you can do things in Houdini that you're probably very used to doing in Maya, and things that in Maya seem very simple may not seem so simple once you jump into Houdini. So this set of videos will demystify the whole process and have you up and running in Houdini in no time. So let's jump. This is what we've done so far. We've created a set of primitives in Houdini. So in here I have my various objects, and I am in Geo1, and I've created my 3 things. This can get kind of messy. It does do a good job of tidying it up itself. If you want to tidy it up properly, just hit L and that will lay everything out for you. So in Maya you can just go in here and move everything around. Houdini has exactly the same concept as this, but the only difference is it's not apparently obvious as it is in Maya how to do this. If I was to jump up here and shift the whole thing, obviously the whole group moves around, which is probably what you expect. Control Z will undo that, by the way. That's akin to going in here and just taking a whole group and translating it all up or down. You know, it's kind of what you'd expect to do. The only difference in Maya is it's very simple to move an individual object up or down. You can do that in Houdini. You can either jump in here and move a center point. So what have we got? We've got the sphere selected. Let's. You can do that. I don't recommend you do that. It's a much better way to do this. If you right click, let's just zoom in a bit. If you right click on here, you can, whatever node I create is going to be appended to the end of this node. So what I'm looking for is a transform. Hit enter and just drop it anyway. So this transform basically will take my box 1 and transform only my box 1. So I'll shift that off to the side. There it is. Okay. I can do exactly the same thing, tab and type transform. What you'll notice is transform appears in this list of history, so it's a top item, so you just press it there. I can click in the line and drop it in the line. If I didn't do that, let's just delete it. Sorry if I was using shake. If I just do transform and click anyway, it will just hover in space, not attached to anything. I can drag it into the line so it becomes yellow, and now it is transformed. And I can, let's just transform the ground downwards to -3. I can copy and paste that, Control C, Control V, and I can drag it into there. And you notice that cylinder, let's just have a that, has taken on the same value of -3 in there. Put it back on there again. If I Control C and Control V, drop that into my tube and shift my tube off to the side, and maybe put that 3 units high. I can rotate that if I like. Let's do a bigger rotation. I'll put that there, and again same thing, Control C, Control V, and drop it into there, and that will put my sphere in the same position, and it inherits all of these values from the last. So selecting on X15. If I want to change the name, I can double click there and change it. I can click up here and change it to keep it meaningful. I'm just going to show you a bit of color, show you some layout things actually. In Maya, obviously if you want to expand, fill up the screen, you just hit spacebar and you can fill up the screen. In Houdini, the way you do that is to click on that box, or Control B. So whenever you click over anything, you'll get a little help menu. Control B will maximize that. H will home everything in. Pressing P will actually bring out the parameters in this window. So if I was to Control B out, you'd see I've got my parameters here and here. If I hit P again, I fill it up. When you start to get to create big complex pattern networks in Houdini, you're going to need a lot of screen estate. So you might want to maximize that and just hit P to bring up a local parameter editor and change things. Hitting P again will get rid of it. Hitting C will bring up your color box. Colors are useful again when imagine you've got a big giant network and you can't see everything. If you want to color things, like I imagine I want to color all of these transforms, I can marquee select them, shift select the next ones, and just hit a color in here. So say I want all of them to be bright green. So when I do have a big network, I can see my green ones. I'll know they'll be transforms or whatever you create. You can create any color coding system you like. I'm going to show you what a net box is. A net box is if I select a couple of things and hit Control N, I create a net box around it, so I can drag that box off wherever I like. I can select that box. I can color that box. I can change the title in that box by double clicking. I can collapse that box and move it around wherever I like. It will still be there and hold its color. So that's C for color, P for parameters, and Control B to maximize. I'm going to show you about locking context and showing and hiding other objects. At the moment, I'm in object Geo1, and that's all I see. If I jump back up, I get my other objects, namely Geo2. So again, to hide other things, I can just turn off their display flags, and I just have Geo2. I can even turn that off. I can just have turn on Geo3. If I'll turn them all on, let's just jump into Geo2. I lose everything else. Okay, I'm only seeing Geo2. If I want to see other things, I can either ghost them, so now they're all ghosted out, or I can show them properly and I can see everything, but I'm only in Geo2. So if you want to know where you are, just use this ghost one and you won't get lost. If I want to change the shading, I can do a wireframe bounding box, which is a wireframe around a bounding box of every object. I can shade the bounding box. I can go into wireframe in here. I can do a hidden line. Lots of this is quite good to see things without the lighting. Shaded view, flat shaded with the lighting, flat shaded Y if you want to put a wireframe on them. Smooth shade wired, whatever you want to do. That's how you do that. I want to show you one other thing, and that is linking these windows. So I'm just going to hide all the other objects. So if I did go into that, Geo2, I'd lose everything. This little pin icon will follow your selection, so you can press that and it will unfollow your selection. You could do the same on the attribute editor and unfollow it. And if I go in here, into Geo2, I still see my main viewport has not followed the selection, neither has my parameter list, which can be useful at times if you want to bring up a local parameter list in here and see how changing a small thing looks on your whole scene. You cannot follow the selection. The other way is to keep that button pressed and choose a number and start creating screens that will be locked to certain things. So these are all locked to number 2s, and this could be locked to a number 1 if you want. And when you have more windows, you'll see the power of this. So I just wanted to show you that. Clicking on that sends it back to not follow. Clicking again sends it to follow, and so on and so forth. So I think that's been a very basic intro into how, from here I hope you can understand some of the differences between how Maya and Houdini are set up. Let's see how we've done. I think we've covered most of these things. So hopefully in the next sessions we'll create a simple particle effect, and in that we're going to talk about how you can source things from objects, how you change a timeline, real-time playback, sampling, graph editors, some basic animation with keyframes, and we'll talk about all various playback, some particle specific things, and how you've play blast. You know, again, people say, how do you play blast in Houdini? I'll show you all of that in the next lesson. Thank you so much. Please do hit like and share and tell all your friends about it. Come visit me on my blog, www.digitopiafilm.com. I will see you guys in the next lesson. Thank you so much. Bye bye.